So I tried OpenClaw for a week, and I gotta say, I got some mixed feelings. I don't know. Let's get into it. I mean, my goodness, like this is all the rage. Everybody's OpenClaw this and OpenClaw that, and everybody's doing all sorts of crazy things with OpenClaw. But so I got to a point. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna install this. I have a Mac Mini M2, which apparently is like the thing that people are putting this thing on, and I had one just sitting around. It was my network drive because I started using my laptop. So I was like, I need some better use out of my Mac Mini M2. Now I wouldn't go buy a machine to run this thing on because I'm gonna get into why in a second. But I had it here, so I figured I already got the setup. I got everything I need. Let me jump in and see what this whole thing is all about. So if you go to openclaw AI, you see OpenClaw, the AI that actually does things, clears your inbox, sends emails, manages your calendar, check you in for flights, all from WhatsApp, Telegram, or any chat you already use. I didn't use it for any of this stuff. I'm honestly, I don't know if I want to. But apparently it's supposed to do everything. And then they have partners, they have all this stuff, and it's super easy to install. You literally open up Terminal, copy this thing in Terminal, and then it just walks you through the wizard to get it done. So I have it. I installed it, and here's the deal. I mean, the best way that I can describe OpenClaw is it's whatever chat GPT agent thing you want to use, right? I use Claude, so I synced it with Claude. And it basically just uses that and it has like a cron job. So Claude doesn't really remind me of stuff, but OpenClaw does. So I can set things up like, hey, I need you to do this every day at 5 p.m. And it'll go through my computer, go through my machine, get whatever it is I need, and then do it. So I'm going to show you kind of one thing that I had it set up to do, um, and why I like it. But I'm kind of like on the fence of, am I going to use this all the time or am I not? So check this out. So I linked it up to Telegram, which was really, really, really easy. And this is what I set it up to do every morning. I said, in the morning, I want you to send me a message, tell me good morning, give me three priority cues that we're going to work on for the day. And I think that was it. So now, oh, and tell me the weather. So it sends me this chat, right? This was yesterday. Good morning. Happy Friday. Hope you're starting the day strong. Here's your briefing for March 13th. Weather. All right. It's going to be 63. That's cold for me because that's in Florida. Three business priorities today: full quiver coffee, pick one concrete step towards the school community launch, blah, 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 the weight coach, and YouTube. So I told it when initially I was setting it up everything that I do. I gave it my businesses. I told it about my YouTube channel. I told it about all the awesome stuff that it is that I work on. And so it just kind of came up with this creative way to just tell me what I need to do. I don't really prompt it. Like I just tell it what I want and then it organizes my task, which I guess is pretty awesome. Like I really like it for that because I'm like really busy. I've got a family, we've got sports, I got work, I got like a million things I got to do throughout the day, so this helps me prioritize at least three things in the daytime. Um, and then it knows that my businesses are Christian. Like I believe in God, and so it gives me a nice little faith thought. And I didn't tell it to do this. It was just like I'm going to add this in, which I thought was really cool. So it gives me a little scripture: commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established. Proverbs 16:13. And then it gives me a little blurb here that says, "You're not just building a business; you're building a legacy for your family and community. Keep your hands open and let Him establish the work. Have a great day. Make it count." So yeah, that's awesome. I named mine Axiom. That's after Wally. I actually asked it what it wanted to be named, and it was like, "Oh, you can call me Axiom from the Wally movie." And I was like, "All right, that's cool." So I just kept it. But yeah, so I start talking to it. So Telegram is like our main platform where I communicate with it and I tell it what I want. And I spent the entire week really just setting it up and nailing things down because it can do a lot of stuff and it does have access to everything on your computer. So I linked this up with my WordPress website so it can create blog posts, it can post them, it can do all of that stuff on WordPress without me having to touch anything, which is amazing. I linked it up to Cursor. So this way, instead of Claude doing all of the coding itself, which burns through tokens, it actually linked up to the Cursor API, and then I can have it build applications without going through the Claude code usage because I already pay for Cursor. So that is a huge, huge, huge plus. So right off the bat, I've got it able to access my WordPress where it could just post blog posts for me and actually start working on some SEO, get some traffic in there. I still have to train it on how to do that, but it's already connected. Cursor, it has access to the CRM I created. It has access to its own repositories. I can even tell it like, hey, do something for me, or build an application for me, and it will prompt Cursor to build the application, and then it'll test it itself, which is like mind blowing to me. Um, and then I also had it create digital products for me where it can create a Word doc in a digital product, create everything, write it all out, and leave like little placeholders for me to just pop in a picture if I bring it into Canva or make it like a nice heading or something like that. So on that front, it is really, really awesome. And I was listening to one of Alex Finn's videos, and I actually had it build something called a mission control. So I'm going to pull this up. Check this out. All right, let's. This is called mission control, and this is fire. Actually, this was installed by OpenClaw. It created this thing in Cursor because I told it I need a one spot to do everything, to make tools, to keep record of everything, and I needed to it to work on the phone, right? So it worked on my local network, and then it installed this thing called Tail Scale or something like that that gave an IP address, and it did all of this in the background. Like I'm gonna be honest, I didn't understand what it was doing, but it was like, oh, I just installed this, and I just created this, and here you go. This is your new URL, and then it gave me a URL to work on my phone, which it worked awesome. So now this that you're seeing here is my mission control. It works like a phone app on my phone, and it gives me today's focus, right? Connect WordPress to Axiom, get Facebook page access token, get Facebook page access token. Because what I could do is I can connect it to Facebook, and through the APIs and through the CLIs and all that stuff, it just works. It just does stuff. So I already did this. I didn't tell it yet, and I'll tell you why once I get to the bad stuff. But this is the good stuff. Okay, do now. So I've got today's excuse me. I've got today's focus, and I've got the do now, which is this. And once I'm done, let's say I already did this, I just check it off, and it's done. So this is kind of like my what do I got to do today queue. And then I have the projects, which is all the stuff I'm working on, my full quiver project, the way coach for kids, foundations, and YouTube videos and stuff like that. And it gives me all the information from what I gave it, and I gave it the websites, and it just came up with everything. Then I had it linked to Todoist, which is really cool. So I have all of these things that I need to do. Some stuff's overdue. I got to clean that up. So it links to Todoist, and it created the connection all by itself. And then I have content. So it's giving me YouTube video ideas, blog ideas, which I haven't done it yet, social media posts. And what's really cool about this is once I connect the Facebook API to it and I click approve, it's going to automatically schedule that. And it linked itself up to, I think, I forgot what it's called, some image thing. I think it creates AI images, but it linked itself to it, and it's like, yeah, it's free. You could use a couple of them at a time, and I don't make AI pictures all the time, so like once a day is totally fine. So if I click approve, it'll take the AI generated image along with the post and then queue it up onto Facebook so that it'll schedule the post automatically. I don't have to do anything. So my mission control literally has all of my content here. Whenever I click changes, it adds this, and I'll say, oh, I don't like that post. I don't like what you wrote. Change this, change that. It then fires something to OpenClaw, and then OpenClaw will make the adjustments. And then from there, it just does it. And then it pings me on Telegram and says, hey, I made the changes. Go check them out on Mission Control. And then I'll have the new thing here that I either approve, change, or skip. And if I click this I, this is what the post is, right? Platform, it's right there. So it's just really cool. And then the third thing that's incredible is I have it doing digital products for me, that I can review, that I can say, all right, let's change this, let's change that. So it's got this one for 27 bucks, the AI prompt toolkit for small business owners. And I did two or three iterations of this. Initially, it was just like, oh, 30 prompts for small business owners. So I clicked on changes. I was like, yo, that's lame for 27 bucks. Like, no, nobody's gonna pay $27 for 30 prompts, like 30 sentences. I said, let's make this a little more valuable and worth it. And so it created more stuff. And then I guided it. I was like, well, I want to do something like this. And it put it all together. So now it just has to do a doc. And then when I approve it, it's going to create the Word doc where it literally has everything together. And then I got to bring it into Canva, clean it up, and make it an actual product, which is just mind blowing. I also have no, I got rid of Discord because I'll tell you why in a little bit. Let's refresh this. Oh no, do I get stuck in a loop? Great. Now I got to figure out how to undo that. All right, whatever. And then the last part was an admin where it doesn't have admin rights on my machine. So I made it so that I can give it admin rights for like 5 minutes at a time in case it needs to do something where I need to put my password in. So I would just click give admin rights for 5 minutes, and then it has a little countdown clock, and then it can do whatever it needs to do with the admin rights, and then it just gets shut off after 5 minutes. So it doesn't go crazy on my machine, right? So kind of tying in, keeping it secure, but letting it be free. Now, that's the good stuff. It helps me keep track of my day. It helps me keep track of my projects. It's actually given me really, really good ideas because it goes to my YouTube page. It analyzed all my videos and it was like, these are the videos that are doing great. This is what you got to do more of. Here's a couple of ideas that you can do. And I was like, that's actually really, really cool. And it does it better than Claude. And I think it does it better than Claude because it's actually browsing the web. Like it's actually doing different things on the machine that Claude doesn't really do. I tried to do that with Claude and Cursor and even make an app for it. And it left a lot of the analyzing for me. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at, man. Like, I just want to do a video. Okay. Give me some of the thoughts, give me some of the ideas of what I could do. Um, so that's the good stuff. Let's get to the bad stuff. Now we switch screens and this is the bad stuff. Okay. I spent the week setting all of this up and it's still not really perfectly set up. There's still some API things and some things that I have to get in it so that it makes sure that it works. Um, the bad part is that this thing burns through tokens. I mean, burns through tokens. Okay. I've had Claude for like maybe a little less than a year. And I mean, I think I use Claude a lot, maybe I'm not like some crazy power user, but listen, I don't make money off of YouTube yet, at least. So I just do this for fun. And the stuff that I pay out of pocket, right? So I'm not paying for a $200 a month plan unless I can justify that the business is paying for that for me. And right now it's not. So I'm on a regular basic pro plan. And you know what? The pro plan works really, really good for me for everything that I do. The only thing is it doesn't automate for me, so it doesn't like ping me if I needed to do something. It doesn't really think in the background, so even if I'm asking it to research or something like that, I have to input a lot of the information to get it. I know Claude browses the web, but I don't know, for some reason it just doesn't do it as good as OpenClaw. Um, and there's just certain limitations. Like I can code on Cursor by manually opening up Cursor and, coding it. Um, but I can't do that in Claude. And you see, there's a lot of like, I have to open up all the different applications that I want to use for me to make Claude really effective. Even when I did the MCP server with Todoist on Claude, it's just constantly saying, "Oh, there's an error. Oh, you got to reconnect. Oh, you got to do this." And I'm like, "All right, like this is not worth it to have to go into my computer, tell it I need to do a task, and then have it update my task. Well, if I got to do all that, I might as well just log into the platform and just make the task. You know what I mean? Like it's just added an extra layer. And you could see here, like I have my $20 monthly thing going, but I added $20 more, right? I burned through 10 in like a day and a half, 10 bucks gone. This morning, I added another 10. So my max is 20 a month because I'm not spending 200 bucks a month. Sorry, not doing it. It spent $4.13 this morning. And honestly, I didn't really do anything. I had a couple conversations with it on Telegram. It went back and forth. And I'm like, dude, where's the leak here? Like, this is crazy. This is every time I send you a message, it's charging me like 25 cents. Like, it's crazy. And so it shut down a couple of things. And I'm kind of second guessing like, is the extra spend worth the automation piece? I don't know. But if you do put in OpenClaw on your machine, like you are going to spend a lot of stuff. Like, look, 14 and 13 cents. And I went through my weekly limit. It wasn't even the daily limit. It's the weekly limit. Like my current session's at 4%, but my weekly limit is done. So I can't even use Claude until Monday. Or is it Monday at 2 p.m.? And that sucks. So from now, this is why, like, normally I would probably go on Telegram and say, "Oh, look at this cool stuff that it does." But every time I do that, like, it's just burning through money. Like, it's just like it's nothing. So I don't know how to get that done. I don't know how to lower the burn. So what I'm trying to do right now, and I'm not doing it this weekend because I only have $6 left until Monday um, is I'm trying to really just sync it with APIs and just do what I needed to do without all of the talking back and forth. Right now, there's a lot of talking back and forth because I'm setting it up because I'm saying, hey, like, don't do that, do this, do it like this, try this way. And then it starts to pick up on what I'm doing and then it puts it in its memory. And it's like, oh, he doesn't want me to just build something out. He wants me to go into Cursor and then prompt it and then have Cursor build it out and then I just test it. And it's awesome because it saves me the time from having to go in, wait for Cursor and do all that stuff. I could just tell, hey, Axiom, go do this, and it does it. But again, I mean, come on, like $4 in one day for like minimal conversations. I don't even think I did anything today. And maybe I'll show you just once. Let's go to Telegram and I'll just ask it, what did we do today? To see where I'm at. This is just me now trying to get this thing up. What did we get accomplished today? And you see, it's usually says like typing or something like that. I've never done it through here. It's usually through my phone. Oh, there it is. Here's the win list for today. I didn't even realize we did all this stuff because this is just talking through it. Well, all of this just cost me $4 for today. So here's the win list: product bucket added to content tab, same approve, skip feedback flow, filter pills. I didn't. We did that. That wasn't today. That was yesterday. Today's focus on Q tab. All right, it's mixing some stuff up. Feedback loop. Yeah, this is what was bleeding me. Cost fixes right there. Kill the 2-minute cron job. Fix the Discord open policy. Good morning cron. Switch to haiku. That's another one. Like I'm using Sonnet. I'm not even using Opus. But now it's just kind of routing. I'm saying, okay, for the stuff that doesn't need any thought, use haiku. So for cron jobs and things like that, it uses haiku, which is way, 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 way less expensive. And it's because it's just a simple task. It doesn't need to think. Just do X and that's what it does. Um, these two fixes probably save $10 a day. Like, bro, I'm not spending $10 a day on this thing. That's absolutely not worth it to me. Unless I can find a really good use case, no way. Connected to Full Quiver REST API. Yes, it did. Actually, that was pretty cool. And then the digital products. Yep. And now I have a couple stuff on the queue. Lesson of the day: APIs and webhooks first always, which is what I told it because it's just burning through stuff. But now let's take a look at what that comment just cost me. 1440. Let's see if I refresh it. 1474. That one comment just cost me 34 cents. If my math is right, I don't know. Like why? I, and that is the issue with OpenClaw. It just burns through my money. So I mean, here's my conclusion with all of this, and why I think it may be awesome and why it just may be terrible. First, why it could be awesome, because if you set this thing up right, you could do so much stuff with it, and you don't necessarily have to be at the computer all the time. My job, like my day job, I'm on the computer 8 hours a day. And then for me to be back on the computer for another 4 or 5 hours, like that drives me a little crazy. Like I got to get up, I got to walk, I got to do some stuff. I can't be on my computer 12, 14, 16 hours a day. It's no good for anybody. I mean, talk about heart health, like got to get healthy. So that's the first thing. So the capabilities of this, if it's used right, I could literally just tell my phone like, "Hey, I need this, this, and that," and then it'll go do it. An example is I needed a list of churches that are near me because we're looking for a new spot. So I said, "Hey, get me a list of 50 of the closest churches for me with their phone numbers, and then put it in Discord so that I can start making some calls this week." It said, "Okay." It did it. It went on the web, it got the addresses, it got the phone numbers that I could find. Whoever it couldn't get the phone numbers from, it gave me a link to their website, it gave me a link to the Google Maps. So I had all the information there. So that is something that I would have to sit at my computer, Google, start copying and pasting, creating a sheet. Like that saved me a ton of time. So things like that are amazing. The bad thing about this is not only does it just burn through tokens, like they got to get that figured out, because that's a real deterrent. Like I'm not trying to spend 200, 300, $500 on this thing. I could simply just do automation, something like N8N or Make, and just get that to work. But OpenClaw is just a lot easier. But not only is the money burn bad, it's like we're getting to this place, and we're getting to this place where we're just trying to find shortcuts for everything. I want a shortcut for this, I want a shortcut for that. If I could get all my work done and not have to be at my computer, then the end, right? But then what does that mean? Like, what does that mean for people? What does that mean for jobs? What does that mean for work? Like, if you could do all your work and just have an AI agent at your computer doing the research, doing the videos, pretty soon you get an AI head, and now it's not even me talking, it's just an AI thing talking, and you're getting all of these things together, and AI is just doing everything. It's like we are going to become those people in Wally, where they're just sitting on the chair, drinking their thing, watching ads all day while the AI just works around them. Like that's what this is turning into. Like that's crazy. Like yeah, OpenClaw is really cool, really powerful, burns through your tokens like crazy. If you could find a great way to use it, like yeah, it's pretty awesome. But just using regular Claude and just doing the work yourself might even be a little easier and less expensive. I don't know. I'm just a guy messing around with some AI stuff. So that's my thoughts on this thing. What do you guys think? Is OpenClaw the future? Do you see yourself using it? Is it something that did you find the solution to burning through, 40 cents in one message? Like that's crazy. I can't use that. I can't use that this week. We'll figure something out. I don't know. The technology changes like every week anyway. So maybe next week there's an update where it's all fixed. In the meantime, that's what I got for you. So God bless. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Would love to hear your thoughts on OpenClaw. And yeah, stick around. We're going to just keep on building some stuff. And this is my journey from, I don't know, just making YouTube videos and just having a good time doing it. So, all right. God bless. Take care. Bye.